everybody. Welcome to Robert's Train Set. This was meant to be a simple unboxing and a bit of running. And it involves this little loco here, which is a Oxford Rail N7 in BR black, early emblem. And thinking about this, it's been a bit of a tortuous journey to get that in the stables of Robert's Train Set. So I just thought I'd run through the story, and I hope you like my back scene. It's one of my videos playing on the TV, and I'm sitting comfortably in the lounge on the floor as it happens, with a cushion, because it's a bit cold in the loft at the moment and I don't really need to be up there to do this, so I thought I'd do this. So I hope you like it. So unbelievably, the story of this loco started 2 years ago. I watched one of Sam's Train's videos on a new model, and it happened to be this loco, but in the wartime grey, which to my eyes I don't particularly like. I know it's very distinctive, but I don't particularly like it. So in his video he said, you know, great loco, really ran well, went straight to the top of the chart, which wasn't difficult because it was the beginning of January 2019. So it was the first one he tested. So in that video he sort of said, you know, for the price that it was, and I think it was under £90, not for this one because this has got sound in, but for his one it was under £90, so DCC ready. He said, you know, we need to support this company. So I did. I went on to Hattons and ordered this loco. Now, it must have been pretty soon after I saw that video from Sam's Trains, because Jenny Kirk did one on the same loco, or, you know, not the same one, but the same livery. And hers ceased to work after not very much time, so obviously she wasn't overly happy with that. So I think if I'd have seen her video before I'd ordered it, or pre-ordered it, I probably wouldn't have bothered. I'd have thought, well, you know, it's going to be up and down, which with this it's actually proved. So anyway, it was in order and I just waited for it to come. Now, because I've chosen the BR Black, I seem to have had to wait an extraordinary amount of time for this particular version, as you can see, because it's now 2 years later. And I don't understand why the sound versions of the Wartime Grey and the sound versions of the LNER came a lot sooner than this one did. I don't understand that. Surely you try and produce all the variants. You know, you're losing people. I mean, many times I thought of cancelling it, but I haven't. And one of the reasons for that is my neighbour next door, my 81-year-old neighbour, he can remember being on trains being pulled by these, which I will mention a bit later on when you see this running on the layout. So let's carry on. So fast forward nearly 2 years, and I finally get an email from Hattons saying it's in and so forth. So it's sent. It makes its way here, and I'm excited. You know, I've finally got one. So took all the photos you will see a bit later on of this original one, because it isn't this one. It's not the one I just showed you. So I had all my rail masters set up ready for putting it on the system. But as always, take it up onto the layout, use a setting number 3, because that's what it's set at, as we know, and tried it, and yes, it ran. the sounds came on, and yeah, it all looked good. But the first point I went over, it derailed. And subsequently, every other point it went over, it derailed. And I didn't take any film of it because at this point I was really disappointed, and I thought, oh dear. Now we all, as modelers, we all try and sort things out, don't we? But there is a point where you say, hang on, I'm not going to be able to sort this one out. And I very quickly realised that this wasn't going to work. And in the bit of video that follows this, you will see a little test I did in my kitchen on my glass top of my cooker, where I show the reason that this original loco kept derailing. I won't say any more than that. And you will also see a bit of video on the same spot of the new loco. So you think, right, okay, so send it back. So went through to Hattons, and they're very, very good. I think most of these retailers are really, really good. They must get a bit annoyed that they have to keep taking them back and buggering around with them. And in the past, I've been sent a link, you know, a printout that I print out on my computer or on my printer, and stick it to the parcel, take it up the local BP's garage, which is only a short walk away, and it's collected. This particular instance, all went well, got the download, all ready to do it. Printer wouldn't print it out dark enough. It was getting a bit on its legs, I think. I have since bought a new printer. So I had to go back to them and said, you know, I can't print this out well enough. Can you send me one? So they said yes. So they print it out themselves and send it in the post. So after about 5 or 6 days, I hadn't received this label, and agreed it's around Christmas, isn't it? It's not great. I mean, I sent 2 cards to Australia, to 2 people that live no more than 10 kilometres away from each other in Brisbane. And one got it fairly quickly, and the other one hasn't got it even now. And I sent it on the 25th of November. And equally, the card that the one that hasn't received it sent me hasn't arrived either. So, mail. Anyway, so after 6 days, I thought, okay, so I phoned up again and said, can you send me another one? It's obviously got lost or whatever. I don't know. But unbelievably, about 2 or 3 days later, they both arrived together. So I sent it back, took it up, posted it, and waited for it all to sort itself out. Now, obviously, you know, it's all over Christmas and whatever, so it's always going to be a bit delayed, isn't it? So anyway, eventually I got an email from Hattons to say it had arrived, the the one that was faulty, and they're going to send me out the other one. Great. So went on and checked, and it was with Royal Mail that was being sent to me. Went on and checked the website and normal things, you know. Anyway, it progressed through, and I got an email to say it will be delivered between whatever. But then I got another update to say that it had been sent in error to Frinton-on-Sea, which is, I suppose, from here about 15 or 16 miles away. So that delayed it coming, so it obviously didn't arrive, and the new year got in the way, and I went on again and checked the website of Royal Mail, and it had been sent back to Chelmsford. And then it had arrived at my local Harwich sorting office. And I'm just thinking about that. I think I've got me behind me, haven't I, on the video. It was strange. I'll carry on. I don't know what we're going to get. It's only a 10-minute video, this, I think. YouTube video. I thought, could they not have just sent somebody from Harwich or sent somebody from Frinton-on-Sea the 15 miles to bring the package to here? And obviously they would have had to gone back one way or the other. Rather than send it on, I would estimate probably 100-mile round trip to get it back to this place. You think of the resources, the time and the pollution that has produced, and I don't understand that. I know they have their systems and whatever, but crazy. Anyway, I'm going on a bit now here, aren't I? Anyway, the new loco has come, and in this video I'll show you the bits on the cooker, a very short sort of unboxing, and also the size of the boxes that were sent from Hattons. Bit strange, and then a little bit of running, all right? And then a little bit of an update on the layout, not huge, just to get over a problem with a couple of my one new loco and an old one. So look forward to that, I hope you will. And let's finish this bit now, shall we? So let's get on to the next bit of the film. Bye.
So this is the first box that came, and this is the second box that came. And both got the same thing in them. So usual thing with Hattons, nice bit of bubble wrap and whatever. So there's the first box with the box of the loco in it, and you can see the size. And this is the label of this. This is the first loco, and there's the loco hiding inside through the cellophane. And usual thing, nothing new here, is there? Usual paperwork, and yep, exactly the same as usual. This is the bit that came out because it's a sound one. Weird, isn't it, with the little electronic bit on it? So this is the original loco. And as you can see, the cab is everything that everybody says about it. So this is the bit of film of this is the original loco on top of the cooker's, what's the name? And if you can notice, the 6 wheels, the 6 driving wheels, it rocks. Now this is the, similar, and it's rock solid, as is the 4MT. Back my way. And as you can see, they're solid. They don't seem to move at all. Whereas when I bring back the N7, you'll see a bit more. What's the name? You can see how fidgety it is. So you can sort of understand why it would derail. So this is the new loco. And as you can see, a lot smaller box, more suited to the size of the box that it was transporting. So this is the label on the end of the box, and as you can see, it's similar. The batch code's the same, so they're not even getting the same quality control on the same batches. So this is the second loco, and as you can see, it's fairly solid. It gives a bit, I think, because obviously the rear wheels are sprung loaded, so it will give a bit. But you can see 100 times better than the original one I had. And this is why this one goes around the layout without falling off at every opportunity. All I can think of is that the chassis was twisted on my original one, which isn't very good. So let's see this running around the layout, shall we? So here we are up on the layout.
And as you saw with that story, it's not always straightforward to get hold of these little locos, is it? Or even big ones for that matter. Anyway, there we are in the what was the waiting shed in the last couple of videos, and as you can hear, it's merrily steaming away. So I shall just, as this is a sound loco, I'll just give you some of the sounds that's on the card. So we'll do a nice short whistle first. Very nice. And then we'll do the even nicer long one. I think they'll hear that coming. So we'll do an injector. Now these sounds are as they came out the packet. I've not altered any, haven't increased or decreased the volume or anything. So this is what comes out from the factory. And there's the whistle. The safety valve, hopefully. Very important, we don't want it blowing up now that we've got it on the layout, do we? And that's the AWS bell, which I'm pretty sure these probably wouldn't have had, but there we are, it's on the card. I am having a few problems with the sound card, which I think I'll probably do another video on. I'm not going to dwell on it here.
So we'll just have a few close-up shots here, and obviously there isn't much detail under the boiler, which has been highlighted lots of times. I think the old Westinghouse pump there is a really nice piece on it, and again, nice view of the cockpit, and even at the back, you know, with the handle, the brake handle and everything. So this little pipe that you can see running round here, which finally ends up on the front buffer there, look, next to the nearest one to you. I took the body off to have a look with all the problems, and that fell off, and it took me ages to find where it went back again. And obviously even the vent on the top of the cab opens and closes. And the front, I think it's really detailed. Now, why don't the manufacturers make some lamps that actually will go over these proper irons?
So I think what I want to do now is I'll just show you it running by itself and going over the points. I still do have a slight problem, as you will see, getting out of this yard. So let's have a look. So we'll set this off with a toot the whistle. And I'll do it at 10 miles an hour. And this is where I have a problem. Did you see the back bogey drop off? If we pick it up again, it's back on, so it's fine. So we'll just pick it up as it goes through the station and down the connection to the inside line. It does with absolutely no problem whatsoever. So we'll see now how it goes through this particular junction. Absolutely super. Now we'll get back to the middle track through this complex of points. Absolutely super. And then with a toot of its whistle, hopefully it will go through these ones to get back where it started from. Super! Absolutely great.
So we'll now follow it down to connect onto the carriages that I've chosen for it to pull. It's had a good run in. So we'll just follow this around the layout, and you might see that the coach configuration is a bit strange. So we have a four-wheel mini coach, a bit like the Genesis, I would think, that Hornby are doing, and then behind that coach, bullied coaches, I believe they are. And then behind that we've got a couple of Mark 1s in the maroon. And the final carriage on this brake, this one here, that's my new brake that I bought with all that lot that I bought earlier in the year. Well, last year now, of course. So there's my brake, not a full brake. I've got a full brake. I didn't have a passenger and a brake, so that's that one. So I've now braked it into the station, and again it's a bit too long for the platform, and I've stopped it where I've stopped it so you can see it a bit better. So why this configuration of coaches? So I mentioned earlier in the video about my 81-year-old next door neighbour having been in a train pulled by one of these. This was in sort of East London way, somewhere around there, and I took him a selection of carriages, i.e. the bullied type, suburban, and also the Mark 1. And when I showed it to him and asked him, is that the carriages that were pulled by this loco, he said no, they were a bit shorter. So I then took him in this little Genesis type one, and he said yes. And I asked him how many of these the train pulled, and he said about 5. Well, unfortunately I've only got one of these, so I can't do that. But I have seen online it pulling both these type of carriages, and surprisingly also the Mark 1s in the maroon. So I thought this was a reasonable rate to have going. So I hope you've enjoyed being introduced to my latest locomotive and my latest carriage there. Although I do have some more coming, which I will do a little video on when they come. So if you remember, I said I'd done a little bit of an update on the layout, and I'd done it because
of a new loco. Well, this is the new loco in question, and the update was because of the pantographs. But what do you think about it pulling the Southern Region green carriages? I think it looks rather okay, actually. So let's follow it around, and that's the reason I had to do a little bit of an update. As the station footbridge was originally, they would hit. But now, with the modifications, both pantographs go under it just about. So having stopped the locomotive right under the footbridge, you can see it just about misses the back pantograph, which is the higher one, to be honest. So what have I done? If I just pan down a little bit, I've built up some steps. So this is basically a concrete plinth that the railway had to put in when the pantographs came in, and as you can see, it's steps so that you come off the concrete footbridge itself and then down onto this splayed out concrete base, plinth you like to call it. I'll show you some photos of it. I've just made it as safe as I can. Although it's not particularly safe, I don't think it will get through health and safety.
So basically they're made out of my beer boxes again, all stuck together. They're not great, but it just gets over a problem really. And as the health and safety, look how close it is to the platform edges. You come down there, and also it's not ideal, is it? But it does the job.
So I also mentioned one of my older locos that I needed to do the work for, and it's the 395 Javelin with the pantograph at. It now goes underneath. Good. And it actually misses by quite a long way, in fact. So I've had this Javelin set for quite a while, so why didn't I do this before? Very simple reason really. For both my electric trains, both this one and the 411 EMU, they pick up from a third rail. So they didn't need the pantograph on this one, and obviously the 411 doesn't have one, so I didn't bother. You just imagine they're the third rail there, don't you? But with the 646, there's no other way of picking up the electricity except through the pantograph, so that's why I've done it. So I hope you agree with that. I know it's not that real, but you know, a certain amount of realism is wanted, I suppose.
I tried reversing this train back into the fiddle yard, and I actually destroyed this pantograph. It took a bit of a while to fix, and obviously on the 395 it was plastic, so I've already lost some bits on it. I used Hornby's alternative couplings to connect the River Ossey to the English carriages. Worked very well.